Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the October polish pickup. If you don't know what polish pickup is, every month a bunch of different indie makers get together and they contribute one product to the centralized polish pickup site. That site is open the first Friday to Monday of every month, so this month it will be open October 1st to October 4th. This month's theme is Monsters and Mythical Creatures, so in the description box I will link the polish pickup site, I will link their Instagram page, I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video, and then I will link all of the individual indie makers that I have to show you. These are not available on the maker's sites. It will only be available on the Polish Pickup website, but it is a good representation of the brand themselves if it's something you're interested in further exploring. Also, some products are what we call capped, and that just means there's a certain number of those available during the ordering window. If a product has no cap, that just means you can order as many as you want and it won't run out. So this month I have 11 products to share with you today, and let's go ahead and get started.
So first, from Colorist to Carol, we have A+ in Monsterology. This is inspired by Monsters University, the movie. This is described as a light celeste blue with neon glitters in various shapes and sizes. So the formula on this one was good. These glitters are very easy to get out, easy to manipulate across the nail, but per the usual with any larger chunky glitters like this, you might have to manipulate them to get them to go exactly where you want them. This is going to dry with some pretty intense texture, so I do recommend a thicker glitter-eating glossy top coat to finish this off. I will link my favorite one in the description box, and removal will be difficult, so there are 3 coats. Up next, from Damn Nail Polish, we have Rain the Rain. This is inspired by Pingu from Raya the Last Dragon. This is described as a shimmer polish with shifts of purple, blue, and green. It's also filled with hollow flakes and blue-purple flakes. The formula on this was wonderful to work with. Very smooth and buttery, no running, pooling, or staining. Very reflective on the nail. I did get opacity in 3 coats. I do recommend going in for all 3 coats. This is going to dry on the dull side, but with no texture, so regular top coat and removal is easy. So up next, from by Dany Vianna, we have 1,000 Wishes. This is inspired by Saurus and a belief of folding 1,000 Saurus to have a wish granted. It's described as a blue turquoise crelly filled with a pink aurora shimmer. This one is nicely opaque here on this first coat. I did get full opacity in 2. It is going to dry on the dull side, so I do recommend top coat, and removal on this one will be easy. The shimmer that is in here stands out so beautifully against this base color, so there are 2 coats. Up next, from Indie by Patty Lopes, we have Curious Soul. This is inspired by 2 distinct creatures meeting each other. It's described as a green crelly base with a green shimmer and a mix of blue hollow glitters. I also see some like tiny microscopic hollow flakes in here. This one is so beautiful. I saw it in the bottle and was like, okay, yeah, it's pretty, but on, I fell in love with this. The glitters are beautiful. They spread out evenly and easily across the nail. They come out of the bottle easily. These little hollow flakes are stunning. It is going to dry with some texture, so I do recommend top coat, and removal will take some scrubbing. Up next, from KB Shimmer, we have Rise Up. This is inspired by Phoenix. This is described as a dusty slate blue crelly base loaded with a metallic flake that shifts from a deep fiery red into a burnt orange and a burnished gold. The formula on this one was good. It is definitely kind of jelly-ish as far as crellies go. I would be happy with this one in 2, but I did go ahead and show what it looked like in 3 just to cover up my visible nail line completely, and Jocelyn hit me right there, or ran into me. This one is going to dry with a little bit of texture, so I do recommend top coat for that reason, but removal on this one will be easy. So there are 3 coats. Up next is the KB Shimmer Under the Sea Sugar Scrub. Now, Their sugar scrubs are some of my favorite things. I look forward to them every single month in the polish pickup, and this one is absolutely no exception. This is described as having hints of watermelon, cantaloupe, and sugarcane, blooms of lilies and orchids, and salty ocean breezes. This one is beautifully scented. It does remind me of kind of summer, and that nasty scar on my hand, my bad, it's gross. But I do love their sugar scrubs in the shower, on my legs, on my hands, in every aspect. Up next from MJ Lacquer, we have Oh Goody. This is inspired by the 1964 TV sitcom The Monsters, and it's described as a mustard-leaning yellow base with red, magenta, orange, green, and gold ultra chrome chameleon flakes, topped with a red to gold aurora shimmer. So this one is very pigmented. I do recommend using a pretty solid base coat for this one. I had the slightest bit of staining, and I only swatched this one, but I don't swatch with base coat. I got opacity in 3 coats. It is very richly pigmented though, so depending on your application, you might be able to get away with 2. I recommend top coat, and removal is easy, so there are 2 coats. Up next from Night Owl Lacquer, we have Sasquach Sighting. This one is inspired by the classic Sasquach sighting picture, and it's described as a brown linear holographic with a multichrome shimmer that shifts from a rosy bronze to a copper to a gold to a green. This one is nicely pigmented here on this first coat. I did get full opacity in 2. This one will dry down more holographic than when it's wet, and it'll be most holographic in the sun and with top coat. Nothing in this is going to dry textured, it won't be difficult to remove, and I had no issues with brush strokes or staining. So there are 2 coats. Up next from my brand Pampered Polishes, we have Silenzio Brunol, and this is inspired by Luca. It's described as a seafoam green to cerulean blue thermal loaded with platinum, holographic, and iridescent flakes. I think the formula on this one was easy to work with, no running, pulling, or staining. Per the usual of these kind of thermals, it is on the sheer side on this first coat, but it does build up nicely. In its warm state, it will be this green seafoamy color, and then in the cold state, it's this brighter blue. I did 3 coats to achieve full opacity. It is going to dry decently glossy and with no texture, but I do still recommend a top coat to protect your manicure, and this will be easy to remove as well. So there are 3 coats. Up next from Penelope Loose, we have Well Well, and this is inspired by Maleficent. It's described as a multi-chrome magnetic nail polish with an aurora pigment. This is nicely opaque here on this first coat. I did 2 for full opacity before magnetizing it. The color shifts in this one were unreal to me. I haven't seen so many color shifts in one magnetic polish in my life, and it was mind-blowing. It had an excellent formula. It is going to dry on the dull side, so I do recommend going in for top coat, and removal is easy, so there are 2 coats. And lastly for today from Rogue Lacquer, we have Seahorse, and this is inspired by the Greek mythical creature, the hippocampus. It's described as a ocean blue jelly loaded with pink to orange color shifting flakes, hollow flakes, and turquoise metallic flakes. I think the formula on this was excellent. It's not too thick or too thin. I got opacity in 2 coats. You are going to want a thicker, glittering, glossy top coat to finish this off, and removal is easy. So there are 2 coats.
And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up. Let me know what you do plan on picking up from Polish Pickup this month, and let me know what your favorite from today's video was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.